Hello, and thank you for joining us today as we speak with local Harney County business owners and managers. As you're probably aware, there's a real challenge within the county, and that is connecting employers with potential employees. And so what we've decided to do is start a new program where we're going to allow employers or small business owners to come share with us what they need in a future employee. We sure hope you enjoy this, and we hope it serves the community.
Okay, there we go. Okay, it is my pleasure today to be here with Jen Hoke. She is with Harney District Hospital in Harney County, Oregon. She is our recruiter and just local, all-around great person to talk to. So I'm really excited today to be talking to her about the workplace at Harney District Hospital and some of their potential needs and wishes, I guess, for an employee base. So welcome, Jen.
Thank you. Thank you, Denise. Thank you very much for having me on. Yeah. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So why don't you take a minute and just kind of give us a little bit of information about the company and a little bit about the culture and what you think is great about Harney District Hospital.
Okay. Well, Harney District Hospital is a 25-bed critical access hospital that serves all of Harney County, which is absolutely huge. It's over 10,000 square miles. So we have a wide area to cover. So with our critical access hospital, we also have a family care clinic. And then we've recently added new Sun Energy and Harney District's hospital specialty care clinics. So we have 2 clinics now. Part of the hospital, we also have an EMS department, an emergency department, and then physical therapy as well are some things that we offer the community. It's a great place to work. There's about 200 employees here at Harney District, and we really strive to serve the community. I would say we have a family type culture because here the patients aren't just a number. We're literally serving our neighbors, our friends, and our family. And so good patient care is really close to our heart. And so I think that's kind of the center of our culture. We really are all about patient care and finding great employees that can become a part of that.
That's great. That's great. It must be a huge part of the community with that many employees.
Yes, it is. I think it's one of the largest employees here in Harney County.
So. I would think so. Yeah, I don't keep the statistics, but
yeah. And it's important too for us to have that positive reputation because, a good number of people work here and you want them to be happy and feel valued because they carry that.
Right. Cool. Yeah. So what are the types of positions, either what are you looking for right now or what are the kinds of things that generally come up that you guys like to recruit for?
Well, I think right now we have about 15 open positions. So honestly, when I first started working here 4 years ago, I was shocked at all the different departments here. So I would say we're generally always seeking a nurse or a CNA, but we do have those entry-level positions, which are great for locals here that may not have the certifications or licenses that they need for other positions. But right now we have a cook position, a housekeeper position, an admitting clerk position, and a medical assistant to work in our family care clinic. But, there are times where we'll have a facilities person, someone that's good with their hands or wants to take care of the landscape. We have security officers too. So we have different departments that some people don't think of. Obviously those nurses and those doctors, the paramedics, we do have a paramedic position open right now. So those are things we're always looking for too, generally, but we have some other things to offer people too.
Cool. Yeah, it's like its own little city.
Yeah.
Medical area.
So, yeah.
What kinds of things do you think make an employee successful at Harney District Hospital?
I think one of the biggest things is being teachable, being flexible, and really open to learning and having a compassionate personality. is really important, because that's what we're promoting here, is really caring about people. So someone that's friendly, someone that's a go-getter. We don't have a lot of micromanagement that happens here. You really are able to grow within your position and learn new skills. We encourage that. So it's important to have a can-do attitude, positive. I think those types of people are very successful here at Harney District. And team players, like we really have a collaborative culture that we want to work well together. There are times that you are going to be in stressful situations. This is healthcare. You know, so whether it's dealing with an angry patient at admitting, some scared parents in the ED, or an upset patron who can't afford to pay their bill, like compassion is a part of what we do. And so having a positive attitude and a team player, caring about each other as employees is really important too.
Cool. That's great. Yeah. So that being said, is there any specific thing that would maybe disqualify someone from working at Harney District Hospital?
Yeah, I think it's important, because there are times that people have applied for positions that they aren't qualified for. So I think it's really important when you're checking out a job on our job board on Harney District Hospital's website, read the whole thing. We do list, you know, a good number of our positions do require specific certifications or licenses. So make sure you have those before you apply. I think some people just apply just maybe to see what happens. I don't know. But obviously that would be a disqualifier. And then, you know, I've been here 4 years. I think if you kind of have a I know it all kind of attitude and things like that, that doesn't tend to work well. Those people don't tend to stay long. So, you know, I think, you know, and people don't really admit they're those kind of people, but that is something to just be mindful of. You know, if you're like, well, I don't have anything to learn and I'm going to show them how it's done, probably not the best place for you. So yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah. Well, that wouldn't go along with your kind of team building collaborative attitude either, because if you know more than everybody else around you, you're not necessarily joining the right team.
Right.
Good points. I see that. Yeah.
So yes.
Oh, so what kind of, and I got to imagine this is probably one of the most robust onboarding process in the community, but tell me kind of what somebody would expect if they were to be hired. How do you bring them on? How do you orient them? What kind of training do you provide?
All right. Well, with all of our new hires, we do have an orientation process. Our new hire orientation is always held on the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of the month. It is a full day of orientation, so 8 to 5. And so basically during that orientation process, you have a conversation with the CEO who's going through our mission and values. You're meeting our HR director. You're meeting our safety and security officer and kind of going through our policies and processes. You're meeting with IT. You're getting your badge, which acts as your identifier, and it's a key. So it's a really important piece of information. So you're kind of learning the basics of Harney District Hospital and what's important for you to know as an employee. You know, you're learning about our fire drills, safety drills. And then in the afternoon, there's like, I want to say probably like 12 or 15 different videos that you actually watch. There's a lot. It's a lot of information coming at you initially, but it's just processes that you need to know as an employee. So, and then you're having lunch with your coworkers. So you do that during orientation, whether it's your supervisors or coworkers, depending on the department. So we have a pretty robust initial orientation process. Then once you do the overall orientation, then you go to your department, and obviously every department has its own orientation process as well. And depending on the department, it really depends on what it looks like, you know. So
wow, yeah. That's great. So nobody's just going to get thrown in. They're going to know what to expect and what you expect of them as well. Yes. That's awesome. That's
yeah, we do our best to do that. I mean, we try to follow up a few weeks later as HR and just say, hey, do you feel like you have everything you need? because there are times there's a lot thrown at you.
Yeah.
I get new hires that come back and say, hey, Jen, what was this? Did you learn about this? Because you're getting a lot of information, but we have folders that we're putting important things in that you can reference back to as well. So, yeah.
Cool. So they're set up to be successful right off the bat. That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So I know that this is a crazy question, but is there any such thing as an average day at
No.
Harney District?
Nope. Just gonna say that even as the recruiter, I don't have an average day. So yeah, honestly, if you were a cook, you're going to come in depending on your shift. We have prep cooks that come in and they're cutting up all the fruits and vegetables and making the snacks and everything. You're obviously going to come into the kitchen and prepare breakfast and lunch and dinners and meals for the patients as well as employees. The cafeteria is a phenomenal place to go and get good food. Hopefully we'll be open to the public again very soon. I don't know.
It.
Yeah, it's been closed with COVID, but they're still making great food for us. If you're an admitting clerk, you're obviously sitting at the front desk and you're dealing with people coming in throughout the day, getting them checked in. Do they need labs? Are they going to x-ray? Are they visiting a family member who's on the floor? So, depending on the department, it's going to look different. Obviously, if you're a nurse, you could be working on the med surg floor, you could be delivering a baby, or you could be dealing with an accident in the ED. So there really isn't a lot of average days. Yeah. You never know what you're going to. Yeah, you're not going to be bored. So, yes. Yeah.
So kind of going along with the orientation question, I feel like you guys must have some really good opportunities for personal growth, continuing education, development, advancing within the organization. Talk a little bit about that if you would.
Yes. I can say advancement within the organization is a big deal. People are encouraged to step up to, a bigger position, to move up into management or to move to a different department if they feel so inclined. And right now we're in the process of developing training for leadership training, managers and supervisor training, which will be really consistent and across the board, which is great. And we also have tuition assistance programs set up. So if you are taking a program that would help you in your career here at Harney District Hospital, we will provide reimbursement based on what you're taking. So education reimbursement. And then I have found that my manager is really good with, if I want to go, get SHRM HR certified, or learn more about recruiting and go to a conference, I just need to ask permission. We do have money set aside for each department for education. So it is encouraged to always have that personal development going on. We have a phlebotomist that started and she's moved into being a lab assistant and she wants to become more of a lab tech. So she's taking some online classes to do that. Wow. So we do encourage that within our organization. And honestly, I would say if you applied for, say, a housekeeper position, you were in that for 6 months to a year, you really wanted to move into a medical assistant position up in our family care clinic, the opportunity is there for people that work hard and want to do that. So I feel like we encourage that internal growth for our employees. So yeah.
That's great. That's a great opportunity. So once you're in, the opportunities are all there. And
yes, absolutely. They really are.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Any kind of, sometimes this is braggy, but I love to hear a success story, something great that's happening in your organization, a great, employment, like the one you were just talking about, somebody moving from one position to another because that's what they wanted to do. Do you have anything like that to share?
Yes, I would love to share about Jessica Berry, and I did get her permission to use her name.
Okay.
So yes, I said, hey, I want to share your story on this video. She said, absolutely. So she started here in September of 2017, and she initially was hired as a part-time housekeeper. And then she picked up a casual cook position. And I will just explain those real quick. So our full-time positions are 32 to 40 hours per week. Our part-time positions are 20 hours to 31 hours per week. And then casual positions are less than 20 hours per week.
Okay.
So we do differentiate on our job board, and we have those positions, casual, part-time, and full-time. So anyway, Jess started as a part-time EVS housekeeper, and then she picked up a casual cook position. So she was working in both departments, some to make a full-time position. Well, the manager at the time of our dietary department loved her. Like, you talk about a positive attitude, can do. She just came in, she wanted to learn everything. And she did. So she quickly moved into, like, it was within a couple months, she moved into a full-time cook position.
Oh.
And that would have been in the fall of 2017. And in January of 2020, she actually became the manager of the dietary department, which is huge. So that's just over 2 years, she was able to move into a manager position. And honestly, I can tell you it was because of her attitude. And like, she's such an asset here at Harney District Hospital, and she has a great team. It's awesome to work with Jess, and just really positive, helpful, and everything. So to me, that's a huge success story.
Yeah,
So,
that is.
yeah, she did a great job.
That's something, boy. And you've got, it sounds like you've got training to help her become a great manager within the organization. So
Yep, there's a lot of support for her. So
I'm glad she let you share that.
Yes, she did. So that does happen, and it's a really good thing. And then I have another one for the company, if you want. So 2020, I think, was really hard for everyone across the board, but especially for a rural hospital. There was tons of stress, a lot was going on, but I think it shows due diligence and perseverance in the fact that we were able to open our specialty care clinic March 8th of 2021, despite going through COVID. And to me, I just look at that, and that was huge in the healthcare environment that kind of was created because of 2021. So to me, that's just kudos of our team working together and staying focused despite the stressors and everything that we were going through. So that to me is a huge success story.
And that clinic is different than your primary care clinic attached to the hospital, right? Just maybe take 2 minutes and tell me what you guys are doing in that clinic across the street, the new one. What kinds of services?
The new one across the street. So our surgery clinics are now held in the specialty care clinic. We've also built up a dermatology program here, which has taken off. A lot of skin cancer here, but he does Mohs procedure here. And so that's also done at the specialty care clinic. And then our orthopedic program is in the specialty care clinic. So we have an orthopedic nurse practitioner. So all of that is in the specialty care clinic. And then we're looking to add vascular surgeons. So we're going to start that program as well. And then we're also talking to a podiatrist. So we may soon have podiatry services. So, but it's all our specialty care. And then we also have a number of specialists like the cardiologist, oncologist. They come over from Bend once or twice a month. So they used to use rooms in our primary care clinic. Now they're going to the specialty care clinic, and that is where they're seeing patients. So it's all the specialty care that's kind of been transferred over there. And then we're looking to grow even more programs over there, which is really cool. So
I bet that was a little crowded before to have all this.
Yes, it was becoming pretty crowded. So
that is great to know about all those different kinds of specialties that we can get right here in Harney County. So very cool.
It's really great.
Yeah. What do you think employees like best about working at Harney District Hospital?
Well, I think there's a couple of things. One, our benefit package, I think, is great. We do offer medical, dental, and vision packages to part-time and full-time employees. And then we also have retirement. So we are a PERS employer. So you can get PERS retirement And then we also have a second retirement program that people can choose from. And then I would say the biggest thing is the paid time off. So a full-time employee can earn 200 hours a year of paid time off.
Oh,
And that equates to 5 weeks a year, which is huge. And I know for me, that's a big deal. So yeah.
Yeah, you can have a life.
Yeah, you can have a life. You can take
have a life and a job.
Yeah, yeah.
Those
No,
are, those are
love,
very appealing.
yeah, I love the PTO. So yeah, so
that's
I think
great.
that's pretty
That's
great.
great.
Yeah.
That's great. So we're going to be putting a link at the end of this video for people to apply.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you'd like to let them know about the application process, and maybe some tips on how to, look the best when they do apply on your online system?
Well, I would say, and honestly, it depends on the position, but definitely always have a resume. Right now, we just switched applicant platforms. So we have a really 3-minute application process. It's really easy. You give some basic information, upload a resume. If you're chosen for an interview, then you're going to get an invitation to fill out a longer application, which will include more work history, education history, and your references. I would remind people, when you're giving references, make sure they're professional references. Because I've had some people just put like their brother, sister, and their mom. So that's probably not the best. Cover letters aren't required, but they're really nice. They kind of give a sense of who you are and why you want to work here, why a job here would be important to you. So I encourage those just because they give a little insight and they're helpful.
Okay.
So
give people a little bit of a little bit more information. So that's good to know. Don't expect the full application right off the bat. Fill out what you're given and give a resume and hopefully a cover letter, and then wait for the process to work its way through. Okay. We will put that link on the screen right after this video. Awesome. Is there an ability to call and ask questions, or is that information all on your application software?
I mean, a lot of the information's on there, but I always let people know that I'm available. You can definitely call me. My phone number, and you're welcome to put my email and phone number with the link. Great. So feel free to do that 100%. My phone number is also on our website. So if I get calls regularly, if you have a question about a position or want to know more, I would encourage you to call me and just reach out. And even if it's just an email, just say, hey, Jen, I'm really curious about this. And what are you looking for? So I'm open, I'm available. So hopefully people will call and get more information if they have questions. So yeah. Awesome.
Yay. Well, this has been very informative. Anything else you want to add before we close, Jen?
I don't think so. I thank you for this opportunity. And I think,
it's a big employer in our community, and especially over the last year or so, we've been hearing from employers about their difficulty sourcing candidates for all different kinds of jobs. So it's the least we can do to kind of help our business community source people. So Jen Hoke, Harney District Hospital here in Burns, Oregon. Thank you so much. And
thank you.
Take care. Good luck recruiting.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
All right.